Hi, my name is Donovan and I'm a transpersonal hypnotherapist. So today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about anxiety. Now, for the most part, anxiety is actually a very beneficial system, if you'd call it that we share with animals around us. It helps us to not only become aware of danger, but to get out of dangerous situations. The problem comes when we get overstimulated by issues that may not even be dangerous and then start to perceive many things as danger. You'll notice for the most part, our lives are pretty much safe. We are not being attacked by wild animals and we don't have to look around us all the time anticipating danger. The only issue comes in the fact that because we live high stress lives, then these small stresses seem to be what the brain would perceive as danger. And for example, this can happen if you are stuck in a traffic jam, if your boss gets annoyed with you, if your children are shouting and they won't stop. This can then pique the anxiety response. And if this happens too much, then we become hypersensitive to these responses, not knowing how to tone it down. There are many forms of anxiety. We can often see something similar to arachnophobia, a fear of spiders, from something else to generalized anxiety, the fear of something bad happening. You'll notice there's two distinct differences between these kind of anxieties. One is more specific, like we know the spider, we are afraid of the spider. When the spider is removed from our awareness, we are no longer afraid. Then we get something more like generalized anxiety. And that is meaning that anything could be dangerous. The outside could be dangerous. Something is calling our attention, that there may be doom and gloom waiting for us. Many people live with a lot of anxiety issues. If those issues aren't dealt with effectively, the person can eventually have something called a panic attack. And this is, if you would look at it on a metaphorical point of view, imagine a pressure cooker and you're piling in a lot of information into that pressure cooker and it's building up a lot of energy over a long time, and eventually that pressure needs to be released. So if you could see it in the person, their brain is actually doing you a favor. There's too much energy inside you and your mind and brain is just thinking, we need to be free of this, and boom, it all explodes at one time. It is probably the worst feeling that you'll ever experience. You'll probably feel like you are actually dying, that there is danger and doom and gloom literally all around you. It will leave you exhausted, and that's essentially what it needs to do. It's fatiguing the body, it's letting go of all that energy. The problem with that is because it is such a powerful event, that panic attack can then create its own fear. So the person will, after the panic attack, have a fear of having another panic attack. And so we create more anxiety. There is something that I've developed over time, which I've used a few different methods to create this protocol. I call it the Zen Mindset. So I would encourage you to work with these aspects of it, and then if this doesn't work, definitely get help. See a specialist to help deal with the deeper issues that may be going on that you are not aware of. But coming back to the Zen Mindset, it's a very basic 5-step process. It is showing you what is current, what is happening in reality. You see, the anxious mind is going to take you all over the place, into the past, into the future, and keep you away from the present. We want to be in the present because then we can properly evaluate what is happening around us. So the first step is, you'll notice your anxious thoughts, whether they become scattered or fixated. You'll notice those thoughts go to a story. You'll create a story in your mind and you will start to believe that story. Now, when you start to believe that story, the brain actually thinks it's real, and it will start releasing hormones into the bloodstream, and then the body will think it's real. So, for example, I had a fight with my boss a few moments ago. Now, you'll notice a few moments ago, that moment has come and gone, but I'm still fixating on that problem. I should have said this, and why did he say this to me, and yada, yada, yada. And you create this whole movie in your mind, which isn't currently happening, but you think it's happening. So, the first step in this Zen Mindset protocol is once you recognize you've gone so far into the story, you'll come to a point where you'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Come back here, come back into the current moment. You'll notice there's a sense of silence. It's a very interesting phenomenon because your brain is so stimulated that that thing is real, that when you come back into this moment, no matter how busy the surrounding is, your brain is resetting, re-evaluating, and this is a good point. Even though your body is reacting, alright, let me make this point clear. As you go through this protocol, your body will probably be reacting to this event because those hormones have already been dumped. You've already become too hypersensitive to your thoughts, and at this point you're a bit too late. But with this kind of protocol, you're going to recondition yourself to better evaluate what is going on in your own mind. So you bring yourself out of those thoughts, you hear that moment of silence. From that point onwards, then you ask, is this happening right now? If I am in an altercation with my boss right now, literally my boss is going to be in front of me, I'm going to know it's happening. If it happened five minutes ago or yesterday, it is not happening right now. You have to make that clear distinction because your mind thinks it's happening right now. So you come back to the moment, is this happening right now? Then you check yes, no. Probably it's going to be a no. What your mind is doing is it's telling you there's danger. So I want you to pacify that part of the mind. First you're going to look for the danger, then you're going to listen for the danger. So for example, maybe something in your sort of subconscious awareness is concerned. Like there's a tapping sound on the window and you didn't quite hear it, and then your mind gets filled with these other negative stories where actually your mind was saying something needs to be addressed there. So when you come back to the here and now, I want you to look around you. Is there any danger? Listen. Can I hear any danger? So you need to reassure yourself that you are safe, because your mind is basically telling you you're not safe. So there's probably no danger. Yeah, you've looked, you've listened. Now there's no danger. The next is a 5-step protocol in itself, which you may know of. It's a very common strategy to use for anxiety management. So we start with 5. 5 things I can see. So I can see you in there. I can see my hands. I can see this light staring at me. I can see my phone. I mean, there's so many things you can see. You can really go to town on it. But 5 things. What this protocol now, this sub-protocol is doing is bringing you into the here and now. Assessing your current situation. Then, 4 things I can feel. So, quite easy. I can feel my shirt. I can feel my hand, my watch. I can feel my hair. Then 3 things I can hear. Now immediately it gets a little bit more tricky. I can hear the birds outside. I can hear the sound of my computer behind me. And I can hear, it sounds like there's a car in the distance. Then 2 things I can smell. Now what could I smell if there's really nothing to smell? The air around me, there's no real smell. So let's discount that. Maybe there is a perfume smell, then we go with that. But I could smell my arm. I could smell my watch. I could go up to a flower. I could smell the roses, literally. Then, one thing I can taste. Now, everyone says, well, I can taste my saliva, but there's a good chance your saliva is pretty neutral, so there's nothing to taste. But what could I taste? I could lick my arm. I mean, I could go to the kitchen and pour some salt into a bowl and lick that. Whatever, you can use your imagination on this. But you'll notice those moments are getting more and more subtle. They're bringing more of your attention into the here and now. And that is important. This is what we need to do. Is this moment happening right now? Yes, these very small sub-protocols, they are happening right now. Not that thought that you were fixated on. So, then I'm going to take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, either in my mind or loud, I'm going to say, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. We are telling ourselves to let that story go. Let go of all that stuff you're holding on to. When we take a deep breath, there's another important aspect to it, because when we are in danger, the mind goes towards protection, goes towards getting us out of that danger zone as quick as possible. So we will have a much more shallow breath. When I breathe in deep, I'm convincing my mind that there is no danger. There is no danger. You're helping your body to better understand reality from fantasy, essentially. So, that's the protocol. You're going to practice this all the time. Just remember little bits, whatever you can. And every time your mind starts to scatter with many thoughts or fixates on one thought, you're going to apply these protocols. Any step or all of the steps, whatever you can remember. You're going to retrain yourself, because you become hypersensitive to your thoughts, and then your mind starts to go crazy when it should actually just be focused on what's currently happening. So apply these principles or apply this protocol. If you find that your anxiety is not changing, I would definitely encourage you to get help, because there's probably something under the surface that is really concerning you and that is really calling for your attention that you need to address. Beyond that, that is the Zen Mindset. Anxiety is a very interesting subject in and of itself. Just remember though, anxiety is not a bad thing. When it starts to affect your lifestyle for no good reason, then we need to start addressing it. But its core essence is actually to protect us from danger. So we do need anxiety, but we don't need it all the time. So I want to thank you for watching this video. My name is Donovan and I'm a hypnotherapist. Thanks, bye-bye.